Hey guys, Mandy here, home from Mexico. I know you checked out my video on flying to Mexico during a pandemic, and now I'm here to talk with you about my top 10 resorts in the Puerto Vallarta region. Now, before we get into it, remember, this is my list. It's going to be different than everyone else's list, and out of fairness, it was made only of the resorts that hosted me and welcomed me to take a tour. So, if a place you've stayed didn't make the list, or if you don't agree with my list, feel free to tell me, but remember, as with all lists by all vloggers, everything is subjective. So, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and start with my honorable mention. In this position, I give you Sunscape Puerto Vallarta. The resort is primed for family. It's a very simple, entry-level approach to all-inclusive resorts. In a nutshell, if you love Treasure Island in Las Vegas or prefer to fly airlines like Spirit or Frontier, this is a great fit for you. Because while nearly all-inclusive resorts, AI for short, have some sort of upgraded premium level, it's really needed when you stay at Sunscape. Certain areas of the beach are Sun Club only, restocking of the minibar on a regular basis, Sun Club only, so forth and so on. So if you prefer a low sales price and don't mind feeling nickel and dimed as we go along, this is an ideal fit for you. The emphasis is on fun here, so while there's nothing wrong with the rooms, I wasn't really impressed either. I will say that the family suite, again, Sun Club level, did impress me. I also want to make sure to share with you guys that this was the only resort out of so many where I even noticed the odor of cigarette smoke, and I noticed it kind of often. Walking along the beach, I noticed an ashtray station that confirmed my suspicions that the resort is a-okay with lighting up. At least they're trying to keep your cigarette butts off the beach, right? In any event, if smoke bothers you, this might not be the best fit. I will note, the hospitality here is spot on. They fed us, provided us beverages, and made me smile throughout the entire tour. All right, let's head on over to the Iberostar. There you go. This comes in number 10 on my list for just kind of being a little bit vanilla in the mix of everything else that I saw. I have no real complaints about Iberostar, but when I was going back through my photos and my notes, there was very little here that stood out to me as memorable, except for maybe that beach. It's pretty spectacular, and they've done a great job with landscaping it. There's a cool bar that overlooks the Sands, but it kind of seemed like it's only open for special occasions. The wedding gazebo, also stunning, and that cool bar serves as the reception venue. One thing that did stand out to me here in a less than favorable way were the ocean view rooms. I think that this is the first time I ever realized the term ocean view could be subjective. This is what Iberostar considers an ocean view. The ocean is out there, but I would call this a golf course view. Here we go at number 9. This is the Marvel Emotions Resort. Who is this resort for? Families, hands down. The grounds are stunning, even if the pools are a little underwhelming. And luckily there are several pools to choose from, so you're likely to find something that you love. The thing about Emotions worth noting, though, is their family accommodation. The entire property has the feel of an apartment village, maybe a condo village, versus a super mega resort. But we did find a 2-story suite that can accommodate families of up to 8, which is so hard to do. In addition, when you book the Family Advantage program, you're also going to get a menu of amenities to choose from for the kids. Many of these items are yours to keep, so it's a built-in souvenir, which is great. Plus, you're given a host of amenities to use while on site that make a trip really so much easier for family. Things like push cars, strollers, high chairs, 2-way walkie-talkies, and even an on-site photo shoot with prints. All in all, it's a great option for large groups or families, but I would still call this an entry-level resort. So for me, the split between the resorts we've just seen and the resorts you're about to see, that's where the real magic happens. That's where things start to get really good. So if you've only been passively listening, now's the time to really listen up. In fact, the fact that the next resort comes in at number 8, and it's really one of my favorites that we saw, goes a long way for talking about how great the rest of these resorts are. So without further ado, let's check out the family-friendly Buena Ventura Resort. This property, the Buena Ventura Grand, was the best at showcasing local heritage and flavor. It was the only resort we saw to have a full display built for the upcoming Day of the Dead. And the resort itself is built in the traditional hacienda style. You'll find wood beams in the ceilings, beautiful tile floors, and you're going to find little details throughout the property that are truly stunning. This property is boutique done right, never sacrificing details and high-end touches, especially attention to detail, that it takes to make understated luxury. And because of COVID, that smallness even created a few problems. They needed more space to stretch out diners at meals. But because of the perfect size of this resort, they didn't have the space. So instead, they got creative and brought in a dining tent. They pitched it right on the beach. Now you can take your meals barefoot with your toes in the sand. So I beg them not to take this away when the world goes back to normal. Oh, and speaking of that beach, it felt very private, despite its close location to downtown and the famed Puerto Vallarta Malecon. This is a real hidden gem. The hospitality and creative food here makes this a highlight of my entire trip to Mexico. But what you really need to remember about this resort is that it's family friendly and it's so close to downtown. It's the closest all-inclusive property to downtown, actually. At number 6 and 7, we are going to talk about Secrets Vallarta Bay and our sister property, family friendly, now Amber. Secrets played host to my touring group, and sadly, I didn't get a ton of time to experience the resort. They kept us so busy, but I was really impressed with the scale of their operation. Upon arrival, they already knew my name and greeted me by it, handed me some champagne, and sent me to a beautiful room. I loved the lobby, which is open concept, and I also loved the kids club over at Now Amber, the family-friendly side, featuring these beautiful swim-out rooms. The two resorts share a property, which means it's simple for a multi-generational family to travel together. Families on one side, those without littles on the other, and you can share common facilities in the middle. They do a great job of keeping them separated. The emphasis is on luxury, romance, and service. This place also earns the cruise seal of approval. Let's head to the well-priced Riu Palace for my number 5 pick. Can we start with the bad, just because it's also not so bad? The marble columns, the massive lobby, they don't exactly scream Mexico to me. And it was really hard to stop being distracted by this design choice as I toured the entire property. That said, the rooms are simply jaw-dropping. The basic room is already feeling like an upgrade room, but y'all, you need to see this suite. There is a private hot tub on the balcony, overlooking the ocean, and it is stunning. Living room, bedroom, bathroom, even a bidet. At this resort, luxury design is never compromised, but you definitely want to have a suite. The dining venues and public places were equally eloquent. We did have lunch here. It was fantastic. So if you can get over the lack of any Mexican influence at all while you're actually in Mexico, well then hey, this just might be the right resort for you. Now, call me crazy, but before this trip, it had never even occurred to me that all these different families of resorts have their own personality, much in the same way that cruise ships do. I learned so much on this trip, guys, I'm telling you. So I think that it's not that there's a bad resort or a better resort, it's that there's a resort that's right for everyone. And when it comes to my family and I think that resort is going to be the Grand Palladium. Check it out. Coming in at number 4, there are so many things I loved at the Grand Palladium. From the moment you step inside, the lobby is an open concept with decor that feels authentic and welcoming without losing the feel of being in a mega resort. I especially love that with so many resort features being located outside, all of the walkways to get from point A to point B are covered. That means those who sunburn easily can avoid the extra sun exposure. Plus, if it rains, you can move around the resort without getting wet. That is a huge bonus. The grounds were lush, and my favorite part was this animal sanctuary in the middle. There were some monkeys, some deer, a lot of birds, but once the animals have been rehabilitated, they're released back into the wild. Think of it like a mini zoo inside your resort. It makes everything feel more wild, and if you have animal lovers like I do, this place is going to make them sing. The beach here might be my favorite too. As a Pacific Northwest girl, I loved that there were rocks on the beach. They're going to make for amazing tide pools to explore at low tide. The surf here allows for surfing, which is cool, but it means that it can be a bit rough. So the resort even built a lagoon so that the littlest members of your family can splash, which is great. The property has a church with regular services and also plays host to weddings. And get this, you can upgrade your stay to be in the family section of the Grand Palladium. While you'll lose your ocean view, you're going to get a much larger room with tons of family amenities. Check this out, guys. Bags, shirts, slippers, robes, all that show everyone on property that you are part of the upgraded side of the property. And I kind of want one of those family boss robes for myself. Also, have to show you the sports bar here. You guys know I love the Seahawks. And here, mom and dad can catch the game while the kids play on Xbox consoles. They're all over the property, which makes it easy to include the kids without leaving them at Kid Club. All right, what's next?
Hola, how are you?
That's the welcome you receive at the Hard Rock Resort, my number 3 pick. You'll truly feel like a celebrity here, and for good reason. The hotel is the only Hard Rock all-inclusive resort to have been voted best resort in the Hard Rock family ever. They treated us to a lunch that was phenomenal and included some very unique and inspired dishes, not soon to be forgotten. One thing you should know about Hard Rock that I loved is that, at least when this video was created, you were getting unlimited resort credits at like a 30% cost. It means if you book a spa treatment that costs $300, you can use unlimited resort credits to pay for 70% of it. So you only pay the rest out of pocket. So dive in, take an excursion, visit the spa, and do it every single day. You'll find the typical celebrity guitars and outfits all on display, in a way that didn't feel very authentically Mexican to me. But it will feel familiar to Americans, and I think that older kids, tweens, and teens will really be fueled by that. Since the property is absolutely family friendly, that means it's a great pick for those with older kids specifically. Who remembers the Buena Ventura family resort mentioned in that misleading number 8 position? I told you she had a sister property for adults only higher in the list, and now it's time. So let's get right to Villa Premier, coming in very high on my list. Coming in at my number 2 spot and located directly beside the Buena Ventura, the Villa Premier keeps everything great that I talked about with Buena Ventura, but adds so much more. This is an adults-only property where boutique does not even begin to describe the level of service. In the before times, as in before COVID, you'd receive a chair massage during your check-in. You know, while your butler sets the aromatherapy and your unique pillow selections up in your suite. The pool and hot tub may be small by mega resort standards, but they're so well cared for and maintained, you won't even notice that there aren't 500 people around you. The feel here is intimate, close, romantic, upscale. With morning yoga, steps from the sand, and painted classes by the pool, you have the same all-inclusive or European dining plan here as at our sister property, and you're also going to get access to that beachfront dining tent. The rooms here are larger than the family size and outfitted a bit better. And let's talk about the suite, guys. Oh my goodness. The hot tub overlooks the Pacific, again on that seemingly private stretch of sand, and it's just supreme. The rest of the room is large and well appointed as well. And finally, once again, you're still just steps from town. It's the perfect marriage of culture and luxury, and I know I'm gonna come back here as soon as I find a babysitter. This resort is best for couples and honeymooners. It is for sure travel crew approved. Okay, it's time. Are you ready to see what I chose for the number 1 spot? Well, get ready indeed, because it's the Grand Velas Resort, and grand doesn't even begin to describe this place. From the moment you arrive at Grand Velas, you are swept away to another world. Your private check-in includes a neck and shoulder massage, which was lovely, while an aromatherapist mists the air around you and a bell technician plays tones designed to relax your mind and body. After that, champagne and a stroll to your suite, because here, everything's a suite. Through the property, you'll find koi streams. It was so exciting to see, and the real live fish really emphasized the overall attention to detail here. The rooms are massive. Just look at it. This is the smallest economy entry-level room at Grand Velas, and it's as large as my townhouse in Seattle. You're never going to be at a loss for space here. Upgrade to the family suite and you'll really take it all in. Up to 8 people can share, and man, look at that private hot tub on the balcony. You know how most all-inclusive have minibars? Well, at Grand Velas, you have that, but you also get a bottle of tequila with sugar in the raw and lemons and limes set up for you. It's authentic Mexico, but with class, luxury, and indulgence. Outside of your room, you can expect intensely lush grounds and amazing customer service at every turn. Even the pool beds offer a chance at service. See, your pool lounger will be reserved specifically for you for the duration of your stay. Your space is your own, and that is amazing. Of course, the beach was stunning. Of course, the food is amazing. There's just really nowhere where you can go wrong with Grand Velas. So naturally, definitely, crew approval. Okay, that's it. That's my top 10 with honorable mention. I'm curious which place you liked best, which one you think is a great fit for your family, if you've been to any of these, and how I ranked them. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And if there's a place that you've seen that you just have to get to, I'd love to send you. Mexico is open. Mexico is safe. Mexico is sensational. It always has been, now more than ever. So don't wait. Don't delay. Shoot me an email, mandy@travelwithmandylou.com. Pack your bags because you're going to Mexico. See you next time.